Welcome to MAFS Madness on So Many Receipts. I'm Fleur Michelle.
And I'm Shelley Seddon. We're journalists, reality show addicts, and obsessed with Married at First Sight.
Bringing you all the tea from MAFS 2026. Let's get stuck in. Hello, Fleur and Shelley here. Well, we finally saw the last of this motley MAFS bunch on TV this week after 3 very long months. But something tells me that we won't be hearing the last of them for a little bit anyway, right?
Right. So we're giving it maybe 2 to 3 more weeks of media attention before we forget who was in the show.
You struggle to think of their surnames or even their first name after that. So I was listening to the Daily Mail's YouTube series MAFS Unleashed, their latest show, and right at the end, they played some very juicy footage of Alissa, who was caught in this hot mic moment fighting with both ex-MAFS groom Ryan Donnelly and Alissa's new boyfriend, Nathan Ryles, who was on Australian Ninja Warrior a few years ago.
So they were at the final Daily Mail dinner party watch event. Check it out. See what everyone got up to on the night.
Yeah, this is their latest episode of their show. So this Alissa stuff is some seriously awkward audio. They actually included this clip right at the end of their show. Kind of buried it. And they didn't use it for a news story on their site either, which surprised me.
Well, maybe they wanted to include it because it was really spicy, but they also didn't want to piss off Alissa and Nathan.
Yeah, well, anyway, I got my hot little paws on it.
Yes.
We've got him here. Ryan tells Alissa he didn't enjoy watching her and nice guy David because it reminded him of his time with Jackie.
I miss Jackie.
Oh, I do too.
He's saying he was this nice guy that we never saw.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, he then says Alissa was rude to him and Tony. Remember Tony and Morena somewhere else, and it all kicks off.
You've been saying a lot about me.
I've been saying many things.
Why? What's your problem?
Because you remind me of my year last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why? What have I done to you?
Well, it's like echoes of what I went through last year, and I just don't like that behaviour, hey.
I
There's
really,
nothing against you
actually
personally.
have no idea who I am.
Well, we did actually meet once. Tony and I met you, remember? After
Yeah,
that filming day.
I met you, I said hello.
No, but unfortunately, that wasn't like the best introduction, I feel.
What do you mean I said hello to both of you?
Yeah, I know, but like it's just the feeling wasn't there.
Why, because I didn't flirt with you?
No, because we were acknowledged, but the rest of them were just all chatty
This is
and
my
all
partner,
that.
by the way, Nathan.
Oh yeah, we actually met.
Yeah, I feel like you've
We had a few
really
laughs.
taken me off the wrong foot. I feel like I'm
wrong foot?
a very kind person, and I feel like I'm very quick to judge. When I met you and Tony, I was very kind. I was going through a lot at the end of the show, but I said hello, and then I left the party because I didn't want to stay. You don't know who I am. You can't judge me like that online. Be careful.
Judge you like what though? Based on
What you've said. No, but what you've said.
and my lived experience as well.
Yeah,
Like
be
I'm not
careful.
trying to dilute anything you've done, but at the same time I have a lived experience too. If I identify with aspects of your journey in a negative way, that's just my natural reaction. It's not a personal grudge. It's just what I see.
No, it's not a personal grudge. But
You know what I mean?
I met you and I never had a bad feeling against you. I was always kind. I said hello
Well,
to
we-
you.
about 4 minutes.
I can't judge someone on their character within 4 minutes, and I just
No,
want you to know that
after
that is
that-
not okay.
I reserve judgment until
Do you?
I saw a few things. That was all.
But I feel like you
But it
didn't.
comes with the territory. You know the criticism I got from people I knew.
It doesn't matter. People will think what
I'm
they
not
think.
trying-
But I said hello and I was kind. I never said anything bad. And I left early because I was exhausted. And I respected that. But when you judge someone on 4 minutes of meeting someone, I feel like
it
that's
wasn't.
disrespectful.
In addition to that, I saw behaviours that I experienced which upset me a lot.
So Nathan then steps in and tries to play devil's advocate and suggests to Alissa that she should explain herself more instead of going off, but she's just not having it.
I don't know the
No, I know, but he's just going off of what he's seen on the show,
Yeah,
right? So he
and
can't say things based on things that he hasn't
But
seen,
I'm just
right?
saying, like what you've
So
said.
day to day, Alissa,
Look,
day to day, I don't know you. You're correct.
You don't,
right?
and
So
I
I'm
don't judge
commentating on
you.
the behaviour.
Yeah, and do you know
Did I
what?
ever say
I don't
you were
commentate on
horrible?
your behaviour either.
But you could probably.
I don't want to because I am classy.
You could though. You go.
Because I'm classy.
Go. Give it a crack.
No, I know, but it's hard because that's what he's there to do as well. That's just part of the territory.
Yeah, but-
And then you can take moments like this to introduce yourself properly and say, like, hey, like, this is...
Yeah,
This is
and
I'll be
just
honest with you.
saying,
Like my input was minimal compared to the likes of Jamie, compared to all the ones from last year.
Yeah, but
right?
you
So would
just, you
have
just
the-
don't know. You know what I mean?
no, of course, this is your opportunity to talk to him now properly.
Yeah, but I'm just feeling like you, and I met you, I was never unkind to you.
Not unkind.
And I was just like, hello and goodbye, because I didn't want to stay around, and I left.
Yes, I get that.
Okay?
I get that.
You
I
can't judge
understand.
someone on that, okay? But you can comment on whatever you think, but you know what the edit's like.
Well, that's right. Yeah. See,
So
like,
just don't-
If I build an impression
just be
of someone,
careful.
it's the way she keeps saying that. What am I?
No, and I think it's hard because she's
It's
going through
hurtful.
like a very tough time at the
really
moment.
hurtful.
Like, there's been a lot of...
It gets worse. Alissa calls Ryan the C word once he walks off, even though she absolutely dragged Juliet at the retreat for calling Bec the C word.
That made me laugh because remember she did a voxy at the retreat saying, I would never, ever, ever use that word about anyone. I guess she just means on camera, right?
Yeah, exactly. So poor Nathan is trying to rationalize, but Alissa isn't listening. He then tells her 3 times, don't dismiss me. This is exactly what David said during the bedroom fight at the retreat. Don't cancel me.
Alissa just needs to let these poor guys speak.
No,
They don't care.
Knee or approach it differently.
Nah, he doesn't care. He's an actual
Don't care. No,
Nah, he's a dog.
It's not that. He's actually
mad dirty dog.
No.
Look at him.
No, he's not dismissive. You can't act like that. It's not like that. It's okay.
will.
I know, but it's okay. It's okay.
I'm not being mean.
No.
Let's go inside. I hate her. I'm done. I hate her.
No.
You can't judge someone on 4
I
minutes.
understand that, but you've got to understand that that's his job, right? And then
Lisa,
no, but
let's sit
but
down.
you could have
Let's
hold on a second. Could have just used that opportunity to be like, hey, I know you don't know me properly, but this is who I am now.
Come on, let's sit down.
Ah,
I wanna
listen
sit down.
to me. Stop
I want to sit down right now. Can we sit down and then you can talk to me?
Wait.
I want to sit down with my friends and you can
Yeah,
talk to
and
me.
I will in a second.
Come
Just
on,
stop.
let's just sit down when we're going to miss out on a seat.
So many people on our social media pages said in response to that, run, Nathan, run. And here's the thing. She's been on her own apology tour of sorts, saying she needs to be a better listener. But it's clear from this very recent conversation that she still needs to do better.
Yeah, and I did like how Nathan seemed to be trying to gently show her another point of view. And
Yes.
I also saw that he had a bit of sense of humor because lots of people have said this poor bugger needs earplugs due to Alissa's voice. And he responded to someone in a comment saying, accepting earplug sponsorships now.
I love that. I kind of like Nathan.
I really liked him from this conversation. You kind of got a bit
Yeah.
more of his own personality. He seems like a nice guy.
So the final stand show screened this week, and it was actually pretty boring. This has been a really good companion series, and I thought they would have like more unseen footage, which was, we all waited for every week, and that they would ask more follow-up questions, but they didn't.
Yeah, it was kind of like one show too many. They didn't even ask Bec if she actually hooked up with Luke at Chia's birthday, which is something I want to know.
I want to know as well. I think everyone wants to know. And I have to say, Danny is obviously getting some bad advice. He looked like a dick, and his explanations were so rambling.
I honestly had trouble following this interview. It was all over the place. Him, Bec, the host, it was very rambling.
Yeah, it was very deer caught in the headlights, his blinking, his lip licking. It's
Yeah.
like he said that he showed up to take accountability, but yet he still kept blaming everyone else. And we've actually compiled a dot point list of his most irritating moments in this chat. The first one is when he was actually just going out to talk to the hosts, Laura and Brittany. He said, I'm about to get stitched up by 2 women, or something like that.
2, he blamed his behavior on being English.
Whatever.
Again, it's just the British humor. Know what I mean? It's just a cultural misunderstanding.
Yeah, because Australians have no idea what British sense of humor is.
Yeah.
Please give me a break. That's just his banter. That's the persona he hides behind. So, number 4, he blames growing up next to kids at the local boxing club and talking shit with his mates. And, that's just how he speaks.
It's historical. Number 5, he blames not being able to talk about his feelings, even though he signed up for the experiment where people talk about their feelings for 3 months.
Exactly. Number 6, he blames Bec. I had a real problem with this all season. I
Yeah,
felt
me
like
too.
he was gaslighting her from the start. Laura and Brittany would bring up something horrible he said about Bec, and then he defends himself by saying something like, well, she's telling lies about me in the media. She's going on every podcast. Well, Bec did this, Bec did that. She hit me first. It sounds like a toddler argument.
And I do get he was very frustrated with her at times, but then he got caught up in that tit for tat trap, and then he ended up being the loser in the whole thing.
Number 7, he was more apologetic about calling Steph a skank, and he immediately called to apologize, but he humiliated Bec in front of the entire world by dumping her at Final Vows and talking shit behind the scenes. But he couldn't be bothered to pick up the phone to Bec, who he was with for 3 months. Make it make sense.
He's kind of failing miserably at his apology tour. They're all on an apology tour.
I know, exactly. This cast is also unlikable. They need to do damage control. But for Danny, it is PR 101. You own it, you apologize, be remorseful, and say you've learned for it and try to do better. Duh.
We also saw Scott on the stand couch, who was introduced as Australia's sweetheart.
What?
Which I feel was a touch ambitious. Are we now saying this about Scott?
Did we all vote on this? Was there a survey? It was a bit OTT. We know the producers gave him a nice edit, but now he's Australia's sweetheart.
Well, he did come across as being pretty level-headed. I do get why people are now Team Scott.
Yeah.
So we saw him get pretty furious at both Bec and Chris on the couch. Firstly, Bec claimed Scott said she had tuck shop lady arms, which he strenuously denied. Bec said Gia told her that Scott said that about her arms.
I never thought there'd be a tuck shop lady arms debate on this show.
Then he ripped into Chris for laughing about his brother with Gia and her other bestie, Will, on a live. So Will is Gia's other gay bestie friend who was at her wedding.
Yes. So here's the clip about them laughing about Scott's brother and missing teeth. Yikes. But there was a lot of reference to body parts on this show.
What was what was it? Was his brother's hot?
So hot. Oh no, one of them was.
Which one? The one missing teeth on?
Yeah, that one.
You like the Bogan boys, Will?
Scott didn't like that at all. He said it was disgusting, and he questioned how Chris could be friends with Gia. This Gia friendship has not gone well for Chris.
No, and it was very odd that there were 7 of them on the couch, but half of them, Joel, Alissa, Rachel, and Rebecca, got no airtime.
Too many people with nothing to say. This chat was mainly about Gia being a no-show like it was every week, and about Bec and Danny.
And it has been a great behind-the-scenes series overall, but it does feel like you need a full subscription to Stan just to understand what's happening on MAFS nowadays. Like, it's no longer a show, it's homework.
The Stan show's better than the actual show, I think. Anyway, that's all for us today. We're doing a bit of a wrap up on the next episode, so tune in for that, because apparently you now need multiple platforms and a flowchart to keep up.